So if you're happening upon my channel and you don't know me personally, which doesn't happen a lot, but it's happened a few times, this is my fiance Jeremy. He's the man behind the hands, usually when things are being handed to me or handed off.
I was like, behind the hands.
Yeah, that's
like,
you.
okay,
You're the hands.
yeah.
So far, that's all you've been. You've been the hands.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Hello, Internet. So at the time that this video is going up, we are actually in Seattle for Jeremy's cousin's wedding. Thought we'd do something a little different and a little more low-key this week. E3.
E3 2018. So exciting.
I thought that we could talk about the games we're excited for, some of the stuff that we saw, and pretty much everything, maybe what we're looking forward to from Nintendo, since we will not have a chance to see that. We'll give our top 3 favorite games.
Our top 3 favorites.
But before we get into that, I just want to give a brief overall how we felt about E3. So Saturday was EA. I don't remember anything in particular that I was like, yeah.
EA's big ticket item this year is Anthem.
So Anthem looked interesting, but it felt very Destiny to me. I've gotten bored with Destiny, and then the trailer that they had for Destiny today, Cade was not in good shape, and Cade is really the only reason I'm playing Destiny at this point ever. So
from a lore standpoint, I really enjoy the world of Destiny and the lore. From the lore standpoint, it got me very intrigued.
Don't mess with Cade.
EA's conference, by the way, I feel was a huge disappointment, and EA should be calling Square Enix to thank them because they did have the shittiest conference until
So really
Square
quickly,
Enix came along.
Square Enix was today, and I didn't watch it. Jeremy caught it at work, and it was like 30 minutes long. No new trailers.
They showed
everything that they had were things that they'd shown at other conferences.
They showed maybe 1 or 2 games, but they weren't like meaty trailers. They were just little teasers.
And I mean,
they didn't, not enough to get you really excited about it. It was kind of like, okay, what is this? And then they ended with the awful Kingdom Hearts trailer.
The Kingdom Hearts trailers have been the worst. They have this weird music. They're like no sound design.
Yeah.
Hark! Look out!
And then yesterday we had
Yesterday was
Microsoft and Bethesda. So I was happier with Bethesda's conference this year. What they did have this year that we got no information on, but they did finally confirm, was Starfield. I want to know more about Starfield. Obviously, it's not like in my top 3 excited games because we have almost no information about it except for that it's next gen. So
yeah, out of the 3, Fallout, Elder Scrolls, and then Starfield seems like it would appeal to me the most.
And going off of that, Fallout 76. I felt like their introduction of like base building in Fallout 4 would be incorporated. We had heard some rumors that it would be an MMORPG, that it would be online and open world where you could go in and possibly like survival, but they did say it was like softcore survival, so it's not going to be quite as intense as some of the other survival games where you kind of just like go in and die all the time, though there are nukes involved, so that's interesting.
That's the thing. On one hand, they're saying softcore survival, and it feels like, oh, I'm going to be able to jump in and just kind of play, and then at the same time, they're like, well, a group of 5 friends can get a nuke and then nuke something.
Jeremy had his doubts that I would enjoy a survival game. I have not been great at them in the past. I like to watch them more than play them, but I am a avid Fallout fan, so there's no way that I'm not going to try Fallout 76.
It's a little disappointing they're pushing Elder Scrolls so far back.
So far in the future. I don't even know why they teased it, honestly. I think it was almost like they were like, yeah, eventually we're going to make it, but if Starfield's not till next gen, and then Elder Scrolls is after that. So the Microsoft conference.
Microsoft's, Sony has their infrastructure up and running. They have all these studios moving towards these games, first-party titles. So Microsoft's in kind of a weird position. There's no easy fix for not having first-party games. Yeah. They can't like, oh, we're announcing this game tonight and we'll have it in 6 months. They can't do that. So coming out and saying, we have all these new studios and they are focused on bringing you the best first-party content is what they needed to do. Is it fancy and fun? Not really. but
it's the direction they needed to head.
they're very talented studios.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
the studio that did Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. I'm
yeah.
extremely curious to see what they do with Microsoft pushing them and putting money behind them and being like, hey, do your thing.
Right, Ubisoft.
I think they had a pretty good conference.
It was solid. Assassin's Creed.
I really enjoyed seeing the setting of Greece. It's great to see that you can choose your own protagonist,
Yeah.
male or female. That's great. Yeah, I think it's one, it seems like it'd be a good one, you coming back into the franchise.
Right, and not being fatigued on it.
Yeah, I'm just getting burned on it.
Yeah.
It's not,
The gameplay's stayed pretty consistent.
it's the gameplay. And Origins did a lot to fix things, but it also still left me like going, yeah, that's just not where I want it to be.
But Cassandra looks cool.
She
And
does.
I like those front kicks.
She does look cool.
Sony. Holy crap. So
Yeah, they did a great job.
Started in this this set, basically, it looks like,
Yeah.
that they had built up specifically for Last of Us 2 trailer.
Yeah.
A man came out and played banjo, and it was beautiful, and it seamlessly transitioned into the Last of Us 2 trailer. The trailer was amazing.
And it just so cinematic, and if that is how the whole game is, that is gonna blow people's minds.
The combat was amazing. It was cinematic. The camera movement was so intuitive.
And fluid.
She was fighting in kind of this shopping center area, and the camera's moving all around her and that.
They've normally in the past couple of years had very good conferences, and this
Yeah.
was probably their best one.
This was amazing. This was the first time that I've watched E3 and been like, I want to be there.
Yeah.
You know, most of the time I'm like, yeah, I'm getting all the information I needed from home, but this time I was like, oh man, being there would be amazing. We got a good bit of Death Stranding maybe gameplay.
Yeah, it's weird. Like the only thing I was seeing with that, and I was like, it's gorgeous. It looks cool. There were some cool cinematic moments with some invisible creature that's like speeding up time as it's walking.
I think we got more questions than answers from it, but it was definitely the most we've seen so far, and it was the first time we got any kind of a idea of what the game narrative might be about. Final big one we had was Spider-Man.
We had Spider-Man and Ghost of Tsushima, which
yeah.
I felt a little underwhelmed with.
With which one?
Ghost of Tsushima.
Really? It was
Like,
beautiful.
it was gorgeous.
It was
gorgeous.
like a painting.
Yeah, it was absolutely gorgeous. And
Amazing lighting.
Yeah, absolutely. But gameplay-wise, didn't really I don't know what I was expecting, but it didn't really again, like with Assassins, it didn't make me go, holy crap.
You liked the beginning of it. Him coming up on the
Yeah,
people
introducing
killing,
to the world and everything, that was kind of fun, but as it got into it, I kind of got a little okay.
And then we have Spider-Man.
Spider-Man impressed me. I was
They left us with a cliffhanger in the trailer, so that was clever.
yeah, I mean, I've played a couple of Spider-Man games in the past. Today, with what we saw,
It looked really cool.
when
The
it was
gameplay
getting
looked
more
really cool, yeah.
getting more villains, classic villains in the mix, and I'm like, okay, it's throwing me back to those Spider-Man 2 days, but now it's got the polish of next gen and dynamic cameras and fighting.
So, is there anything in particular looking forward to from Nintendo?
From Nintendo, the Pokemon game, whatever we're getting in
Yes.
2019, not Eevee or Pikachu, the next
Eevee.
big Pokemon game.
Right.
And then I'd love to see some Metroid Prime 4 footage. I'm a huge Metroid Prime fan. My top 3 really quick. Number 3 was surprising. I'm gonna say The Division 2.
Okay.
Out of the 3, like I said earlier,
It looked
Anthem,
Cool.
Destiny, and The Division. If you'd have told me I was gonna be leaving E3 with the most excited out of those 3 being The Division, I would have been like, no, crazy. But then putting raids in, free DLC and updates. I mean, all that stuff, I'm guessing building upon the mechanics of the first one. I'm super excited. It actually kind of got me, okay, I
Right.
might be on board with this. Number 2 is Spider-Man. Again, I didn't think Spider-Man would take that spot, but it kind of brought up the nostalgia in me seeing the footage today, and I was like, I want to be Spider-Man again, I want to have fun with it. And so Spider-Man's number 2, and number 1 is The Last of Us. It's just so good. That gameplay was just so cinematic and buttery smooth and
Yeah.
gorgeous.
They did a good job presenting Last of Us. I would have to say Fallout 76. I've talked about this before, even when we're playing Destiny and stuff. As far as an MMORPG goes, I was like, give me a Fallout MMORPG. I will give you all my bottle caps. I am ready for that. One thing that I want to know more about, one game that I want to know more about that I thought looked really cool, just stylistically, was Control, which was one of the smaller games. I didn't get a lot of information about it. A woman in a house that had like no rules of gravity or physics at all.
She is the one with the gun and the PlayStation,
with the
right?
gun,
Yeah,
and she's like floating around in the house,
messing
at one
with
point,
time.
messing with I don't know. Physics do not exist in this place that she's in, but it looked cool and it looked pretty. Like it was just very stylized. So I would love to. I hadn't heard about it before. I just learned about it when we watched the conference tonight. But I would love to learn more about it and more about that gameplay. It intrigued me. And then obviously Last of Us. Playing as Ellie, I'm really excited about. Just everything that I'm just really excited to see how that gameplay works out and if it does work out like we saw tonight, because that'd be pretty incredible. There were a lot of indie games that I was interested in. Unraveled 2, I'm super excited for. That, oh man. Yeah. I mean, I almost cried at that trailer. Like, what are you doing to Yarny, man? I can't.
Yeah, you played through the whole first one, right?
I played through the whole first one. That was one of the games that I played through and you watched. And but this one we can play together, co-op. So I'm pretty excited about that. That was it's an adorable game. Well, thank you for being a guest here on my channel.
Thanks. More than my hands.
Yeah, more than your hands.
Yeah.
He'll be back. Maybe just your hands, but you know. Thank you so much for watching. Please cut out all my uhs. I'm just so tired.
I'll try and cut them out.
Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you're interested in seeing more videos. Go ahead and turn on post notifications so that you can get notified when I post videos. So post notifications before. I promise to be slightly more awake in the next video when we come back from Seattle. Thank you for watching.
Bye.